Hi, thanks for joining me today. In Psalm 147:3, David declared this. He said, "It is He who heals the brokenhearted and bandages their wounds." You know, we're very fortunate to live in an age where we're blessed to have doctors and counselors that are available to help us. And over the years, there have been humans who have accomplished many incredible feats. Feats like sending men to the moon, building these incredible skyscrapers, the invention of the cell phone, and so many other things. But I want to remind you today that healing and restoring a broken heart is a totally different thing. And only God is capable of doing that. Those of us who have tried to change our fears, frustrations, anxieties, or addiction problems without Jesus, you know what I mean. Certainly, it takes us cooperating with God for healing to take place, but we're ultimately dependent on Him to remake our hearts and heal our broken places. In Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 26, God said this. He said, "I will give you a new heart, and I will put a new spirit within you. I will remove from you your heart of stone, and I will give you a heart of flesh." There are two important words in that verse, and those words are, "I will." God is saying to us that no matter how hard you try, you can't heal yourself. You can't make things in your life happen without me. You can't work your way to emotional and spiritual wholeness. You need me. And those two words, "I will," are a reminder of that. We can't do it independently of God because true healing always happens within the context of our relationship with God. God is saying this, your healing is going to be of me, and it will be my work so that when you're healed, you will know that I am the God who loves you, and I'm the God who has saved you, and I am the God who has delivered you, and I'm the God that cares about you and heals you. Maybe you've been wondering if your heart and your emotions will ever be healed because it doesn't seem like God is doing anything right now. Maybe you feel like the proverbial bird who's sitting on her nest, and things appear to be at a standstill, and for the longest time, that mother bird sits quietly in the nest, knowing that in the stillness, something vital is going on beneath her, but she's not quite sure when it's going to happen. But she knows that in the proper time, it will be revealed. You know, it takes faith, it takes patience for that mother bird to wait for the appointed time of birth. And sometimes when we're going through difficult seasons of emotional issues or depression or discouragement or whatever it is, it's easy for us to begin to wonder if our heart and our emotions will ever be whole again. Maybe you've gone through a time of, or are going through a time of grieving because of the loss of a loved one or something else that's happened in your life. And as you sit there, as you pray, as you read the Word, there are no visible signs of progress that anything is happening. But remember this, the egg that sits in the nest, from the time it's laid, appears to the outward eye to be unchanged, but it's not unchanged because amazing things are happening inside that egg that have not yet been manifested on the outside. And the same thing is happening with you and I. As we faithfully wait on God in our times of emotional distress, discouragement, depression, grief, whatever it may be, God is doing something, right? God is doing what only He can do, and we have to choose to trust Him. We have to choose to believe during the silent weeks, perhaps even silent months or years, that God is at work restoring us. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 10 in the Message Bible says this. Peter says, "This suffering won't last forever." He goes on to say, "It won't be long before this generous God of ours, who has great plans for us in Christ, eternal and glorious plans, will have you put together and back on your feet again for His good." Remember, He gets the last word. That's what Peter said. I love that. I know that many of you are, and many of you have gone through a lot recently. Try to remember Peter's words. This won't last forever. Jesus promises to fully restore you and heal you and get you back up on your feet again. Remember that while we can and we should utilize what we have available to us through doctors and counselors, thank God for them. But at the end of the day, Jesus is the true source of healing for a broken heart and an anxious mind. Well, as always, thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you in church this Sunday as we continue our series called Out of the Cave. God bless you.